Okay, batteries. Number of different sort of batteries that you can get. I suppose we could start with this, which would be one of the smaller ones. Now this is one which actually fits onto a cigarette-like one, so a Ciga-like. So that's a battery, and that is charged from a USB bit that comes with it. The next one, which is very common out there and a very good battery, is this here. Now this is an Ego C. You get Kanger twists. I mean, there's a lot of them that actually use this particular shape and form. Some of them are as a set power. The power is 3.7 volts. But some of them, like this, you can see at the end here that this is actually twistable. And with this you can actually turn the power up and down. On this it's got two sets of threads, so it's got one on the outside, which means that it will take something like this here that has a skirt on it. So that means that this piece here will screw onto the outer part there, and that's how it actually goes in. Whereas it's also got, on the inside here, it's got some threads, so that means that, and I would never put something like that on it, but that means that that can screw in there. So that's a sort of an Ego style battery, and that is charged by using something like this here, which essentially is again a USB. All you do is you screw this into the end here. You have this plugged into a USB wall socket or into a computer or whatever, and essentially that'll charge it. So very, very good batteries, those. When we get out of that style of battery, we get into the sort of the bigger ones, and within the bigger batteries there are three basic types that are there, or rather three basic sizes. And essentially what we have is the 18350, which is relatively small, and this is 700 mAh, that means milliamp hours. And essentially what an 18350 stands for is basically it's 18 millimeters wide and 35 millimeters high. Okay, so that's what the number stands for. The next one up would be this one here, which is a little bit bigger, and this is an 18500, or in some cases it's called an 18490. And basically with this particular one, this is going to have a higher level of charge within it, which is 1100 mAh. So that's what this one is. And then our next one up is the 18650, and again likewise it's the same width, so it's 18, but it's 65 millimeters high. And that is the bigger of the standard type batteries. And with this particular one, this is 2000 milliamp hours. So essentially it's a bigger battery, but what that means is that it's going to last longer, but it's going to make your machine bigger, you know, because it's quite large. The next thing to note about these is that you can get different tops. On these ones here, these are called nipple tops for obvious reasons. Whereas you can get a battery like that, which is actually a flat top. So again, for the most part, they are these nipple top batteries. These ones are essentially charged in a charger, something like this, where they basically just slot in, and that's how they charge. This happens to be a 4-bay one. You can get 2-bay ones, you can get single-bay ones as well. So that's basically it about batteries. Always good idea to get good quality ones. You do hear occasionally about sort of bad quality ones where you can get sort of, you know, a gas leakage coming out of them, which is not something that you want to do. Most of them, I mean, my favorite ones personally are the AWIMRs. You can see that there. They're a tiny bit more expensive, but they're, you know, they're safe batteries. They, if there is an issue with them, they can vent. You can see at the top there, the little holes. But the eFests, there's an eFest there, are a perfectly fine battery as well. You'll hear some people talking about high drain batteries. Again, you know, sort of something like an AWIMR is a high drain battery, and that just means that some mods, some actual units, their manufacturers will suggest getting a high drain battery. So AWIMR will always work for those. So that's basically batteries.